Hey guys, we're going to make some easy Thanksgiving desserts that I made this year. We're going to make a pecan pie to start with, which I used to think was very hard, but it's not. And that's just a store-bought crust in a mixing bowl. And we're going to take some chopped up pecans and we're going to mix those with some corn syrup and some vanilla and molasses and some eggs, and we're going to make a beautiful pecan pie. 3 eggs, and that was probably, I think that was 2 cups of chopped pecans, and then 3 eggs. We're going to mix them up in just a minute. I'm going to make a, as my son calls it, a very sweet, gooey pecan pie. Now this is light corn syrup. This is about a cup of light corn syrup. You know, just cheap corn syrup you buy at the grocery store. No biggie. Then we got some brown sugar. That is a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I believe that's light brown sugar as well. And then molasses. We're going to put in 1 tablespoon of molasses. When I first made this pie, I went to the grocery store to buy all the ingredients and I couldn't find molasses, and I stopped a lady in the store who I figured she looked like she knew how to make a pecan pie. And when I told her the ingredients I was looking for, she looked at me like I was crazy and said she'd never heard of a pecan pie that had corn syrup, vanilla, and molasses in it. But that was my recipe, and that's what I've made it ever since. We're going to add about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and that is it. And then we're just going to stir that up really, really well, just by hand. You know, don't even have to break out the mixer for this. Very easy and very quick as far as the mixing of the ingredients. Now the cooking time, that's a little different. It takes a good about 1.5 hours to bake this pie, but you know, that's no big deal. It just sits in the oven. Now the pie shell that I bought was a shortbread pie shell. The only other choice that I could find was a graham cracker shell, and I just didn't think that would taste good. So, you know, I don't make my pies from shells from scratch. That would be too difficult. And I said this was easy desserts. So there you go. You just pour it all in your pie shell. Pretty simple. And then just kind of spread it evenly in your shell. And then you're going to bake this uncovered on 350 for 30 minutes. And then you are going to take it out and tint tinfoil over it and bake it on same 350 for another good 40 to 50 minutes. Till it's the color you want it. The tin foil helps it from burning on the top. You don't want it to burn. And it comes out a very pretty golden brown color. There it is. It should be, you know, solid when it shouldn't jiggle. I've made them before where they didn't cook in the inside correctly or something, and they'll jiggle. Then we're going to make what we have nicknamed blueberry doobie. This was a recipe somebody taught me in the past. It's extremely simple. You just take a little casserole, and that is crushed pineapple right from the can, not drained or anything. You just pour it in there. You could use a bigger casserole dish. I always use a small one because, I mean, there's no reason. Just, it's easier for me. And then this is blueberry pie filling in the can. You just buy over in the pie section. I did a strawberry one last year. You can do different flavors. Usually I do blueberry. Last year was the first year I tried something different. You can also use frozen blueberries. I prefer the pie filling because I don't like how watery the frozen blueberries get. Now this is a cup of regular sugar. I do not use that whole cup of sugar. It just makes it entirely too sweet. So I think I used about a half. And then this is a yellow cake mix. And you're going to use, I think I used about half for this smaller casserole dish. If you used a bigger one, you might have to use more of it. And you just sprinkle that over the top, just directly over the top. And then I melted a stick of butter. And you just will take that melted stick of butter and pour over the top. Right over the top. Then you're going to also bake this at 350, and depending on your oven, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. I know that sounds like a big difference, but you know, you want the cake mix on the top to kind of brown on the edges and solidify just a tad. It may not be totally solidified. It might still be kind of buttery. When you take it out and let it sit, it will harden. It'll be fine. But you know, sometimes it takes mine longer to bake. And then when it comes out, it's going to look like this. See how it's golden brown kind of on the edges, and it's a very quick and easy dessert. My family loves it. And I hope you try them and enjoy your Thanksgiving. See you next time.